Hey everybody, looks like we are live. My name is Bezad,
My name is Risa.
and we are the founders of Wonder Looper. And welcome to the weekly Wonder Looper live stream, broadcasting live from our studio here. Hold on a second, I gotta fix something.
We had the live stream on Beza's computer. So that's not fun. Yes, welcome to our live stream. There's some people on here already.
There we go. Sorry everybody. Yeah. Anyway, now I'm all flustered.
I don't even know what you were talking about.
We're welcoming everyone to the live stream because we are broadcasting live from our studio space here. Studio, warehouse, showroom here in Yokohama, Japan to bring to you the weekly Wonder Looper live stream. The greatest live stream in the history of all live streams. Don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. I know there might be other live streams claiming that, but it is just false narrative, and we are indeed the greatest. So, with that said, it is Monday morning for us, June the 29th. It is Sunday evening for many of you, June the 28th. We're tuning in. People are tuning in from all around the world. Let us know where you guys are tuning in from. And we're going to be talking about all kinds of things Wonder Looper related, of course. Maybe we'll answer some of your questions. That's what we are here to do. We're going to talk about the release of the Amami hand-dyed ELS recycled cotton slub t-shirts. I don't know if that's the longest title of a product that we've ever come up with, but it might be close.
Yeah.
We will get there. It is episode 100. Everyone has in the chat is mentioning that as well. We hit a little milestone today. Thank you, everybody. We'll talk about what it's like to get to 100, and then maybe to the next 100 or 1,000. Who knows? We will get there. A lot of stuff going on, and of course we'll answer your question. If you've got any hot takes you need us to take, we'll take a hot take every now and then. So maybe you could trigger us. Angry Bezad sometimes is an entertaining Bezad. Sometimes depends on the take. Anyways, let's check in with the chat. Mr. Shank Style is in the house, checking in from Sydney, Australia today. Double heavyweight t-shirt and double heavyweight hoodie. Quad heavy cotton day for
It's a lot of cotton.
A lot of cotton, but it's a winter day out there in Australia. I hope you're keeping cozy and warm. Other people out there in the world are feeling hot. I saw there's quite the heat wave hitting Europe in Paris. It is not like that here in Japan. It is just typhoon city. A lot of rain.
A lot of rain.
Yeah.
Moderate temperature.
Yeah.
Goes up to maybe like 27 or something like that. So,
but we haven't seen the sun in 2 weeks.
Well, yeah, it's okay. I like the moderate.
The temperature is fine, but yeah, it is quite rainy. We had 2 typhoons this weekend kind of converging on us, so that was fun.
Yeah,
it wasn't terrible.
Underwhelming.
Yeah.
In Tokyo, at least, it was just we were kind of, bracing for the impact, and we were like, oh, that's it. It's just rain.
It was just a lot of rain. I was expecting a lot more devastation, and then on top of that, we had a couple of earthquakes, like big ones, last week.
That was scary.
Yeah, we had one while the customer was in the store, and at least our showroom here.
That was fine.
That one was fine. I think they might have been a little freaked out because they weren't used to earthquakes. And then there was one in the evening that was mega hard, and I thought, okay, well, we're all gonna die tonight.
Well, it's just the problem is
we didn't die.
It's the alarm that comes 1 second before the earthquake.
Yeah.
The phone alarm goes, and that is the worst part.
Yeah.
I would say that if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have been that scared.
Yes. The alarm is pretty devastating, but I mean, it gets you alert
Yeah, but what are you supposed to do in that 1 second? You're not gonna like prepare to leave the house.
That is the moment where you find Jesus, God, whoever it is. That's it. That's the moment you got. And then
that's the only thing you can do in the moment.
Yeah,
think about Jesus.
Think about eternal life after your,
Yeah.
So that's it.
Anyways.
Anyhow, it's been quite the adventure, and we have yet to have. I feel like we have yet to have the first live stream earthquake.
Yeah,
I don't feel like we've had one before. I might be wrong, but I don't feel like we've had one before. And episode 100, maybe today's the day. Maybe today is the day. A light one, not a big one. Mother Nature, you leave those big ones for another time. I don't need to live stream my demise. But
that will be a day.
That will be someday. Anyhow, let's check in with the chat. Let's see where everybody's tuning in from, what people are wearing, what people are enjoying. McCrizzler, good to see you. Hello from Nashville, America. Very hot here. This has been a Ringer Tea weekend.
I like that.
Glad to hear it. Those Ringer Teas are our lightest teas so far to date. And they're also enjoying our denim jacket game today. Thank you very much. I am, for those people who are wondering, I think there's some questions about it. What are we wearing denim jacket-wise? I'm wearing the naked and famous MIJ 10. This is the Okayama Spirit denim jacket in the classic denim jacket, sort of Type 3 style construction here. And Miss Risa is wearing.
I think this was found at Book Off.
We definitely found this at the old thrift.
Came to Japan. Book Off is a good place to hang out and find gems. This one is the Ebisu, I think, Type 1 jacket. And it's actually it's very short, but it kind of fits me really, really well.
Very good. Turn around. See all the details here. We got the cinch back here as well. Got the two-tone stitching. Fits you pretty spot on.
Right.
And nice Ebisu, made in Japan Ebisu jacket. So we got and I got the matching khaki as well. So we try to match as often as we can.
We've been matching pretty hard lately. Yesterday we went to a baseball game.
Right.
And we both wore blue Super Loopers. He has a hoodie. I have a crew neck. And with jeans, faded jeans. And it was just very obvious.
Yes, we definitely try. So we'll continue that. Again, it's one of those things where I'm like, I need to make more videos. If at the very least, I could maybe put together outfits of the day sort of thing, at least a couple times a week, maybe just to give some seasonal inspiration ideas of what's happening.
Yeah.
So.
I did think that when we have our office, we're going to have a big mirror and a dedicated spot for our
filming. Yeah.
Yeah. Or selfies and just post every day. That's what I thought. And this space, it's bigger than our last space, but it's getting smaller by the day. Working on it.
We're the other day not that I want to move immediately. I don't really, we've literally just been in here for 1 year. And you found some 10,000 square foot warehouse.
We can dream.
Yeah, we could dream. I don't know if we could fill that up. That's 10 times the space of this place.
The point is that we don't fill it up.
Right.
As long as you can afford it, it's affordable, then extra space is always welcome.
That's true.
Anyway, I'm working on another possible route.
Yeah. Anyhow.
So that we can stay here longer.
Yeah. We've been growing. 100 episodes deep. You guys have watched.
I can't believe it's only 100 though, to be honest. It's 52 weeks in the year.
That's true. But at the very start of Wonder Looper, we weren't streaming weekly on the Wonder Looper channel.
Right.
We were streaming periodically we were streaming on the Naked and Famous Denim YouTube,
Yes.
which used to be the greatest live stream in the history of all live streams. It's okay, it's still a fine live stream. Good host, handsome hosts. But the title goes with the with the players, right? That's the way I see it.
All right.
Yeah. So anyhow, you let us know what you guys think. Okay. Yukon Selvage says, I think the jeans I was wearing yesterday takes the title for longest product name, Midnight Slub Stretch Selvage. A Naked and Famous jean, Midnight Slub Stretch Selvage. That's long, but not
nearly long.
Yeah.
Enough for.
It's up there, but it's not a title taker.
Amami hand-dyed ELS recycled
cotton slub.
Cotton slub?
Yep.
Slub cotton? T-shirts. I think that's longer.
It's up there. Yeah.
More words at least.
Right. There's more words, more syllables. There we have it. Okay. Sam Selvage says, is there somewhere in Alberta to buy Wonder Looper? Well, let's head over to, here's how, let's do it. Little instructional video for everybody. Let's head over
Calgary is Alberta.
Calgary's in Alberta, that's right. So let's head over to the Wonder Looper website, everyone's favorite website. I know it's bookmarked everybody's main page. So if you ever want to know where you're going to find Wonder Looper products worldwide, head over to http://www.wonderlooper.com on your favorite internet browser, and head over to the World Wide Web. You can find a store right here. Click the link, and it brings you to our list of retail partners worldwide. Now, I suppose the one thing missing here, while we do have things listed by country, we don't have it listed by state or province. So you might have to click through, but our good friends at Brooklyn Clothing are in Alberta, and you're going to be able to find some Wonder Looper, a good deal of Wonder Looper products there as well. But in Canada in general, we have some great retail partners. Of course, Naked and Famous Denim, Gerhard Supply in Toronto, Ontario, Naked and Famous Denim in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. We've got Denali in Winnipeg, Manitoba, and Brooklyn Clothing in Calgary, Alberta. We do have to work on that British Columbia, so we gotta work on that as well. So we are slowly expanding across the globe. This is our list of retail partners. Here in Japan, you can shop right here in the Wonder Looper showroom by appointment only. And to do that, you head over to book a showroom visit. So if you'd like to visit us, I've definitely changed that title. I don't know. Sometimes people don't realize they can come here. Is that the best title for it? Shop in Japan? I don't know. And then you can just schedule your appointment. We are an appointment-based showroom here. So walk-ins are not recommended because we're not always here. Or we might... So just, whatever time and date you're interested in, you just click through and then you book your appointment, and we'll be happy to see you. We request the appointment, of course, because, as I mentioned, we're not always here.
Yeah. And the thing is, if you plan a visit and your desired time is not available, just send us an email. It work within this if possible, but sometimes I block out dates. For instance, you can see that in July, I blocked out 14th through 16th because I'm just trying to schedule a meeting and, little things here and there. So I can't have just random appointments coming in the middle of trying to figure out schedules. So sometimes I block off and then I'll release the dates later on and stuff like that. So just send us an email if you're you're only available to visit on this day and this day's blocked off, then just let us know and we can figure something out.
That's right. Okay, Billy is sweet. Billy is sweet one. Great name. Congrats on 100. And then the next comment is, speaking of heat waves, Any updates on a super duper lightweight fabric? I think I remember talk of that a while back. The answer is it's a little bit, yeah. So we are working on something that is going to be tremendously light. Tremendously light. You know, of course, people love their heavyweight t-shirts. They love their durability, but you know, quality is, you know, subject to the environment. So, what's the best quality t-shirt? What are the best things that you can look for in a t-shirt made for the fall, winter, or something that's really rugged? Well, maybe you want something a little bit heavier weight. If you want something in the middle of a heat wave, well, then the heaviest t-shirt out there probably isn't the best choice for you. You might want to enjoy something very, very lightweight. So we are expanding our horizons, our options out there, and we just want to provide. You know, somebody mentioned. You know, I guess somebody on YouTube is making the perfect black T-shirt. I don't get it because it's got 8% Lycra. Am I crazy, or is that too much stretch for the shirt to hold up long term? Now, I guess you're talking about another YouTube channel making a t-shirt. I don't know. I didn't watch that video. I don't know anything about that video, but you know, it's got 8% Lycra. Well, that might be, again, different strokes for different folks, right? I wouldn't, somebody else might. I wouldn't go so far as to say this is the perfect t-shirt, right? Because I think perfect and I think the best is a matter of personal preference. You know, how you're going to enjoy it, what you're going to enjoy it for, you know, how you're going to use that thing. So there is no perfect. That's I always want to stress that. There is no perfect. There is no best. There's always a lot of different
best for this or best
or even really good for, right? Yeah. You know, it's hard to, because everyone enjoys their clothes differently. Mm-hmm. Right? So what's the best for you is not going to be necessarily the best for me. Is it going to be a high quality t-shirt? Perhaps, possibly. You know, sometimes people want that stretchy comfort. You know, it's going to fit the body a certain way. And, you know, Lycra is going to do that for you. Some people like 100% natural fibers. So,
yeah. Even within our like collection, you know, there's just like, you know, like, is that the heaviest the best? Then triple heavyweight, for sure. That's by far the heaviest t-shirt. Yeah. But, like, you know, is that for everyday wear for a lot of people? No, I wouldn't say that. And, you know, I would always have a couple of favorites that I rotate heavily. Right. And I can't put a, you know, grade on this. It's like, I love them both.
Yeah.
It's yeah, I think even within a tiny, tiny universe of t-shirts, there's so many complexity to what is best. So,
but I think a lot of people, again, it's sort of like a lot of people look to simplifying things in a lot of ways. What's the best coffee maker you can buy? What's the best this? What's the best that?
You need to be told.
Right.
And
And so, like, I don't want to go, personally, I wouldn't go so far as to say this is the best thing ever, you know.
Especially with fit. Like, everybody have different bodies. Like, you can't say, like, this is the best fitting t-shirts or the best fitting jeans. It's like, well,
it might be
according to your body, perhaps. But, you know, my body's different from yours. And my preference is different from yours. So
yeah, but your preference also might change from day to day or season to season. Right, you know,
or trend to trend. Like, you know, like some days you want to bag, like today in today's world, maybe baggier is better than slimmer. But you know, it's like, ask yourself 15 years ago, you would have said the slimmer is what's better. So.
Right. So it's all very dependent, and like, so, you know, if it has a feature set, if any product has a feature set that you think you're going to enjoy, then it might be great for you. Mm-hmm. And
especially with, like, you know, like performance-based things. Like, you know, man-made fibers are, like, engineered for a specific purpose.
Yeah.
And
or sometimes specific, like, short-term purposes. Like, you know, like a running shirt is like, you're going to wear this for the 45 minutes that you're going to go on a jog. Or, I don't know, maybe you're going to go for a longer jog. But, like, that's what it's for. It's for that particular purpose only. Mm-hmm. And so it's great for that, but are you going to wear that underneath your suit when you're, going out to dinner later on? Probably not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, best, very, it's a term I wouldn't attach to anything personally, or perfect. I don't think anything is perfect. I think a lot of things are, you can be in this echelon of like really high quality, and then, I think we sit there, and then it boils down to your preferences.
Right. But that's the fun part of it. I think that a lot of people have different opinions, different, take on certain things, and finding what works for you or what makes you feel like you have the best is the fun part of like, I guess shopping, I would say.
Right. And I think also in our realm of, being interested in these things, we're always seeking sort of the next interesting thing. Mm-hmm. So, I think it's neat that there's more and more emphasis on quality and better made things. Obviously, it helps us, but it helps, anybody in this realm who is trying to push for that, because there is definitely a demand for better out there. And it's all in part due to the education that I wouldn't say that we're not on the top of the mountain there. There's a lot of YouTubers that are a lot bigger, who spread a lot of information. They learn, and I think that we're a small player. That I know people, and sometimes people across the YouTubers, they might send us an email or ask us a question: how's this made? How's that made? How does this work? And because we're so close to number one, we've been in the business for a long time, but we're also close to mills and factories and people that we can get sort of deeper information from. We can relay that information out there. And while we're not the greatest, I would say we're not the greatest in terms of like creating easy content to consume, right? Our content is long, with 2 and a half, 2 hour live streams every week. Sometimes people want that 15-minute, quick video, right? Get all the information.
Like 2-minute quick videos.
Right.
Like, I feel like that's the one. Those are the ones that get not even 2 minutes, probably like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
That get the most eyes on.
Yeah, but those will catch attention. And then, I would say the more inquisitive people are then going to start doing their research, go on the forums, and maybe they'll find us, things like that. But it's no matter what it is, it seems like the more you know about it, the more interested you become in it. Especially when it comes to people who are passionate about what they talk about. Mm-hmm. It could be anything. And so this is a group of people who I suspect have a general interest in a lot of things. And, when you get into something, you tend to go a little bit deeper into it. Right? That's just my assumption from especially the live stream crowd here.
Yeah.
Yes. There you go. Okay, Stephen Kopelkan says, I get plenty of stretch and loose woven knit fabrics. Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's a different kind of stretch, I would say.
Yeah.
The elastin stretch is more stretches and instantly recovers type of stretch. Woven fabric stretch, knit fabric is somewhere in between, but I think wovens are stretch and it doesn't come back up if it's the 100% cotton woven fabric. It does move, like it does have a stretch diagonally, and when the fabric is like put together, it does kind of correct itself a little bit, but it's not the same as spandex, where it just goes like this. So it is a very different kind of stretch, and knit fabric is, because of the way it the fabric is constructed, it does have a stretch that kind of moves with you a little bit, but not to the degree of the
lycras or the polyesters, or not polyesters, but the PU. Polyurethane. Yeah, those are high stretch recovery materials. Mm-hmm. So what's good about them is that like Risa said, they have this ability to sort of snap back to shape. And the problem with them is that eventually it wears out, but it depends on your use case. Like how long, I would say on a pair of jeans, the problem with PU is that, like, I would say, in the long term, those stretch fibers will break eventually. And then, you'll start to see some of them peeking through the front of the fabric, and you'll see these little white bits, and that's just the PU like fibers breaking. And then the stretch recovery becomes less and less. Now, if you're working with like in the case of like a Naked and Famous denim, because the denim itself isn't pre-treated, it's not distressed or, acid wash or bleached or this and that, there's less damage on the fabric to begin with.
Yeah, the heat is really the one that kills the most.
Right. But when you get into like fashion denim that's been like crazy distressed, but also has lots of stretch, and this is the realm that I used to work in like 20 years ago, like the fashion jeans, and all that stuff was like super, super comfortable. A woman would try it on in the change room. She comes out, fits her perfectly, fits her like a glove. She's comfortable in it. But, the return rate or the damage rate on those jeans were tremendous. I mean, sometimes you'd have women, like, to be fair, sometimes the jeans were too tight and they put them on in the change room and they just burst. But sometimes, like, they fit them perfectly, like normal, and they'd be back in 3 days and be like, yeah, the butt blew out. And it's just, you're just like, yeah, that shouldn't have done that. But like, they're using really fine, super thin denim, really, lots of stretch, lots of processing, and it can't hold up to that. So, the problem with those materials is that they don't have the durability. But if it's, say, a fashion item and durability and longevity isn't necessarily part of the equation, I'm only going to wear this for one or, season because it's trendy now, and I'm probably not going to wear jeans with dragons embroidered all over them 5 years from now, or my everyday jeans, then it doesn't matter because you're wearing those dragon jeans to the club, and then, after maybe you're not wearing those dragon jeans anymore.
Yeah. This might be a little like, it might come later on in more important form. But I do want to talk about how, like, the lightweight, ultra lightweight t-shirts that we're going to work on.
Yes.
They're not going to be as durable. They're not going to, they're going to develop some holes if you just heavily wear it and wash it all the time. Like, it is a delicate, thing. If you make something very thin, that means it's that much more delicate.
Yeah. You can make it as good as you can, right? Which is our intention.
Right.
To make it as good as we possibly can. But it will also still be a delicate garment.
Yeah, you can't expect the same level of durability as, for instance, our double heavyweight t-shirts. And you can't be like, well, I spent, however much on this t-shirt, it should last me however much length of time. And it's just like, we get that quite a bit, in not like a lot, but like it is a certain amount of people who thinks that you pay higher price on some things, that it should,
therefore indestructible.
Yeah, it should be protected from anything that can ever happen to these things.
And that's, I get it, but I think that, how can I say it? If you're new to this realm, there's a lot of sort of conceptions that you have. And I would say that generally you're right. You pay more in the quality realm, that we exist in, and you should get a garment that lasts longer. I don't say that is generally true, but that doesn't stop life from happening, right? You might have a t-shirt that you got at the mall that you've had for 5 years and there's no holes in it, and then all of a sudden you bought a nice t-shirt and you spent 5 times as much on it, and in 5 months you got a hole in it. Well, the problem is that you could have wore that other t-shirt in the same time and done the same things, and maybe that hole would have appeared, because that hole is an instance in time, right? It's not that there's like some self-destruct button or, mode in the garment where it's just going to be like, we're going to generate a hole here after 90 days. That doesn't Obviously, nobody thinks that, but like that's not how it's gonna happen, right?
Nor that is an expensive
Yeah.
T-shirt have like this, Super Mario star where it's like anything comes at you and nothing.
Ping, 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 right? So, what happened that time when you got the hole? Maybe you rubbed up against something. Maybe the dog, greeted you a little too friendly. Whatever happened, something happened to that garment. And, that doesn't mean that garment isn't well made or anything like that. It was well made. It's just scratches and nicks and things happen. And, it's unfortunate when it happens, to a garment that is new. And I think, you just have to sort of roll with it. The beauty is that like a lot of this stuff, because it's made well, oftentimes it can be repaired easily, and then you can continue to enjoy it, for a long, long time. But, when it comes to like fine goods, when you're buying a fine cashmere sweater or a fine silk or they're very fine. But what are you paying for? You're paying for that lightness. You're paying for that airiness. And what the thing that you're giving up on is, well, the durability, right?
Yeah.
And so you can make them as good as you can make them, but there's definitely no way of like making them life proof. And if we're going for something that is going to be tremendously airy, right? It's going to be tremendously airy, but it's probably going to be more prone to nicks and holes and things like that than anything else, and that just comes with the territory. You're going to enjoy it while you enjoy it and while you wear it, but it may not be the life-lasting T-shirt that you might expect.
Yeah.
It's like a paper towel versus a tissue paper, right? You like the tissue paper because it's nice and soft on your nose, right? You don't want to be blowing your nose in that paper towel. That's rough. That's tough, right? But big, heavy spills, you're reaching for that paper towel every time, right? That Bounty quicker picker upper.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored. I don't think we have Bounty in this country.
I've seen it, but it's like, it's massively more expensive than
whatever we got. Yeah. The Raven says, sadly, nothing is indestructible, no matter the price tag.
Yeah.
That's right.
And I think you have a very good, equation to, cars. Just because you buy a Ferrari doesn't mean that if you,
it scratches the same as the, the Honda Civic.
Just, throw the key at it, it's going to make the paint scratch. It's not that just because it's cheaper or more expensive that it reacts to certain things differently.
Yeah. So, I find that there is this general correlation that people tend to have with price and indestructibility. Price and quality are generally, not always, certainly not always, but price and quality are usually, somewhat aligned. But durability is not necessary. Sometimes you're buying the finest thing. Sometimes you're buying the toughest thing. And just because it's tough doesn't mean it can't break.
Yeah. And it's just like for us, because we're kind of known for a lot of heavyweight stuff, and people kind of give us a good review, got good response, saying like, hey, this is like
a tank.
It's very sturdy, like it's going to last me forever, blah blah blah, and that's great, and that's our intention. But when we start to like kind of go towards more delicate, more lightweight, more light things, it's just that's a concern in our head, because
I know that there will be more complaints in that realm,
right.
But I definitely want people to understand what they're getting, and anyway, that's up to us, being on this side of
putting the messages out there.
Yeah, the lighter the thing you buy doesn't make it, just because it's more expensive or as expensive doesn't make it any stronger. You are paying for the fineness. Making things finer is also more difficult. Right?
It takes way more thinner yarns, way more knitting.
Yeah. So it's a different equation there. Okay, we got Mike Drum asking, would you ever consider making a Supima cotton and linen blend shirt? Linen blend, whether it's Supima cotton or whatever, but linen blend tees, I've thought about it. It's definitely been up there. We have something planned.
Yeah.
We have something planned. It's not linen,
linen.
but it's in the alternative materials realm. Anyhow, that I can't talk about just yet because it's really, even though it's still a little early. We're still finalizing. It's actually not. Our timing is a little off because right now it's like market season for spring, summer.
We're always behind.
We're always
behind.
Like
behind.
Like spring, summer 27. It's market season right now. Like everybody except us has their samples ready and they're showing them to like all the retailers around the world everywhere. And like I don't even have one sample yet. Like
we used to say that like Japan market happens way later than Europe.
But it's shifting.
But it is shifting, and like and it's also that like American market also is coming up soon, and
yeah,
we just anyways, we work with our own schedule.
That's right. When it's ready, it's ready. That's sort of it. Because anyhow, you definitely, if you follow our newsletters, we there's a lot of development that goes on, and because of it, it just takes a long time. So
we certainly don't make anything easy.
No. So
nothing we're making, like we're trying to develop now, it's easy. Like for instance, in the fall, there was a lot of challenges, but there was also like a lot of easy ones where like burgundy double heavyweight French terry, it's just a new color. Navy ultimate Pima t-shirts, it's just a new color. Those are easy. But I feel like for spring everything is just kind of hard.
Because everything is pretty new. There's a lot and labor intensive, right? So it's we'll probably have some stuff to show in like August, September-ish. Hopefully a little bit of that stuff will be a little sooner.
Some stuff to show, I think, even in July. Some.
Yeah.
But those are the easy ones. We do have a couple of easy ones, I guess, but
yeah. It takes a bit. Anyway, you guys will see it when we get it. Yoda Man asks, is there going to be a fall winter collection video? The answer is yes, but we will release it when it's a little bit closer to fall winter. When stuff is actually closer to shipping. Right now it's the end of June, but it's still June, so maybe
just to release. Like we are not even done with spring summer. Actually,
so we have
next week is the last week.
So there will be a comprehensive video for all the fall winter items. And then all the new stuff we'll have individual videos for those as well. So
we have a bunch of videos.
We got a lot of product videos to make. Okay, this is a good one. Sheen June asks, as seasoned denim jacket wearers, what are your thoughts on hand pockets / hand warmers for denim jackets? Go.
Okay. I welcome them. I think that is a neat thing. Especially, I like putting my hand in the pocket. However, none of the denim jackets, almost none of the denim jackets I have had a pocket, and I'm okay with it. I just got used to it, I think.
It really depends on the fit. And so there's a handful of sort of, I would say, classic denim jacket fits out there. And if it's appropriate for the fit, then I think it's fine. Like, if you stand up for a second, like, the style that Risa's wearing, like, there's no room for pockets here. There's you know what I mean? There's nothing here. What are you going to put, another pleat? And there's no room for it. And if you were to just shove a pocket on here, I think it looks weird.
Look ugly,
I've seen versions of this jacket where they make it longer, they put pockets. Because I'm going to say it, I'm a man and I'm just used to the things looking the way that they look. Mm-hmm. In women's wear, there's a gajillion things. Mm-hmm. And men are our brains are, this is how it's supposed to look. I want it to look like that. So it depends on the fit. I either like it or I don't like it. And these type 1, type 2 styles, get those hand pockets. I don't need pockets there. It's fine. The jackets are shorter. You've got pockets in your jeans, in your trousers. You're gonna be fine. Something like this, though, I originally also did not care for them. But what we did at Naked and Famous was that we added an extra seam so it didn't look sort of out of place. And then we hid it. We hid the pocket. So that way, for me, visually on the front, it still looks pretty classic. And then if I need the pockets, they're there. So that's my opinion on it. If it's sort of like a Lee style jacket, they have those pockets up. That looks fine because it's a little bit more integrated into the design. But it really depends.
And I also think that it's the length thing too. Like I like my denim jacket shorter. And when it's short, like short jacket with hand pockets are like kind of awkward because you have to pull up your arms to put it in there. So, and just like if I want a pocket, like I love a short, jacket that is a little bit longer and have a bucket pocket in the height that is very comfortable for me to put my hand in. So like I just I appreciate that, and when I'm wearing a denim jacket, I'm just like, this is what I'm wearing. I don't have a pocket. That's fine. The same thing with actually my the fatigue pants, like back pocket, butt pocket. Right. So I used to like hate wearing fatigue pants because usually they have the flap on the pocket, and I put my phone in the back pocket always, like this pocket. And I have one pair where like I have permanently like things just flipped up like that so that I have access to the pocket, but it does look ugly and it does look ridiculous when I'm walking around with like a flap open. Yeah. So this pants in specific, because it's a little bit more higher rise, like I just decided not to use that. This is permanently closed, and I would like put my phone in my front pocket, which I hate. It is incredibly uncomfortable and weird looking, but I'm just like, or I put it in my purse or whatever. Yeah. Like it's just like I gotta live with it. Right. Sometimes some things are inconvenient, but function is not always the priority. Yeah. Some people really prioritize function over fashion, and I'm more fashion over function, but only by a little. Yeah. I'm not willing, like... The balance is important. When I was young, there was no question, like, the fit was the most important thing. It's like, I was pretty real skinny, and like, it has to fit exactly like this, blah, 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 blah. And I did not care. You couldn't use your pockets, didn't matter. If the jeans were a little tight, no problem. To be fair, like back then with the lower rise jeans, there was no pocket. There was just no. You weren't putting anything in there. Nothing was gonna fit anyways. But now I definitely want the look to be pretty cohesive. And if that means I don't have pockets, okay, no problem. I have a bag or whatever. So yeah, it's a tough one. The jean jacket pockets. I don't know if it's contentious, but it is a... I don't know. I have the other, like, jean jacket that I wear all the time, the Levi's one. And that one has the bucket pocket on the chest. And that's come in use because it doesn't have a flap. I honestly... Nobody uses these. Hate flap pockets. Other than the, like, aesthetics. It's just, like... It makes no sense. Yeah. I don't need to close my pocket. Yeah. It's not going to jump out of there. Also, like, nobody uses these. Like, what do you use this for? Those. Like, I don't even use this one. Even if I were a smoker, which I'm not, like, am I putting my cigarettes in here? Like, what? This is a very not useful pocket. It looks good, but it's not very useful. It needs to be there. Yeah. It's just otherwise, like, it looks weird. Yeah. But, yeah. I was, for a second, I was like, am I actually using it for anything? No, but there's a sample tag in there. That's it. This is the sample jacket. There you go. That's all that was in there. Sample. Yada, yada. Yeah. Okay. And we got watch it saying, got an original Type 3, no pockets. Love it. Oh, there you go. I have a couple of original Type 3s in the old denim closet myself. The Raven says, if I put items in jacket pockets like my phone or wallet, I notice the second my hands go into the warmer pockets, all the items lay on top
of my hands, and it's super uncomfortable. Yeah, right? Like, it's just a lot of jingle jangle. Sometimes, like, with the Naked and Famous ones, we put the inside pocket, which I do use from time to time, but yeah, it just, it just makes, when you sit down, just has this.
Yeah, I feel the same thing with the hoodie kangaroo pocket.
I use that all the time.
Like, I do not put stuff in there because it just looks so weird. And I noticed that when you put stuff in there, it just looks so weird.
Yeah, it looks like I'm a kangaroo.
Your hand.
I use it. I use it a lot.
I know.
I use the kangaroo pocket a lot.
It's so weird though.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's just going to slip out also. Because it's not a deep pocket.
Yeah, I haven't had any issues, but yeah, if I want something secure, it's front pocket. But yeah, sometimes you just need to put something somewhere for a minute, then there you go. I use them at the airport, and I put my passport, boarding pass items, Yoda Man. That's it. I use that
temporarily, yes, sometimes. Airport behavior is different from everyday behavior, I think.
Right. Okay. How long, Monkey says, how long until we get some new Henleys?
We're getting them restocked and new colors available in the fall.
Yes. In the fall, so we'll have the heather gray.
In cotton cashmere.
Yeah, hold on.
So we have we're bringing back all the 3 colors, the ecru, the khaki, and the sumi black, from last year back, and then we're adding a heather gray to the mix for the fall. And we are also bringing back the heavyweight waffle, Foxfibre waffle, in the Fox 15, 70, and 70 iron mordant. And then also we're adding another color in there as well. That's the Grandrel.
Yeah. So this is going to be a new Henley color in the heather gray, as Risa mentioned. And then we also have the Foxfibre ones. That said, last year, the Foxfibre ones, they were running a little bit big compared to the cashmere ones. And we've adjusted it. To be fair, the patterns are the same. It's just that this is such a sort of loose and sort of stretchy material that the garments came out bigger fitting. So we adjusted the pattern so that they will be much more in line with one another. So that's just one thing. If you got one of these last year, just know that your size may or may not change depending on how you like them to fit. But we will have an updated measurement guide for the Foxfibre ones come fall once they're ready for production. But yeah, this is the new Grandrel. This is a fabric. This is a yarn that we're going to be running in the Henleys and the Foxfibre tees. So this is, sorry, it's not the best way to show it, but you can see the color there. So it's a nice mix of Foxfibre and black yarns together to create this interesting tone. So there you go. Monkey says, oh my god, that Grandrel is gonna go fast. Hopefully.
Did we ever show off the new the hat sample?
No. Did we?
Did we?
Okay, wait a minute. You guys tell us. I don't remember. So Risa is going to be showing off something potentially new. I don't know if we showed it off, but
I don't remember. So we are bringing a lot of items in the new Grandrel. So like we just showed the heavyweight waffle, and we have the t-shirts, and then on top of that,
so you guys might remember these.
These are from I think released in
holiday.
Holiday, December, and we got the Iron Mordant Foxfibre. We have Foxfibre 80 and the yak-blend knit hats, and we're adding to that the Foxfibre black Grandrel, and so it came out. It's very handsome. I would say.
So it, depending on where you are in the world, it may or may not be toque season. But I wear these a lot in the winter time. So we will have a new color option here for you as well. And with the Foxfibre ones, there's a little bit of elastic in here just so that they stretch and sort of hold on to your brain. But they're like mostly cotton. Like there's no wool or anything like this. So breathability is actually quite nice. They're not the warmest hat in the world, but sometimes you don't need the warmest hat in the world, especially if you're like in and out of places a lot. So they do make a very comfortable wearing knit cap. And the yak-blend ones have that sort of wooliness to them. So if you want something a little bit warmer feeling, the yak-blend's the one to go with. So yeah, these will be here, and then we'll be adding the new one in the fall as well. So there you go.
Maybe there's a little bit of confusion in terms of sizing for the Henleys. The Henleys last year, we had kind of like a true to size, like true to our size. Cotton cashmere Henleys were like kind of like if you're medium in Wonderlooper clothes usually, then you would be a medium kind of thing. Obviously depends on how you want things to fit, but you generally speaking it was kind of but with cotton cashmere Henley and the heavyweight Foxfibre Henley waffle Henley was just like same fit, but it was fitting a little bit differently because the heavyweight waffle was like kind of a stretchier fabric. So when they cut the pattern, it's the same pattern, but it was like as a garment, it came out a little bit larger because it stretched out so easily and so much more.
Yeah, there's a lot of give in this material.
What we did was that we shrunk the pattern for these a little bit so that when it comes out, the Foxfibre, like you would be same size in both cotton cashmere and the heavyweight fox waffle. So it is kind of like we just kind of adjusted it back to like a regular sizing rather than like leaving the fox waffle like running a little larger.
Yeah, sometimes you have to adjust patterns for fabrics.
So the garment as a garment measurement should come out very similar to cotton cashmere honeycomb. So you just look at that.
Yeah, this is just giving you the technical background on it. Like ultimately, when you get it, they will be more or less the same fit. Now, there's never exactly the same, right?
But say like if you have bought the Foxfibre heavyweight waffle Henley last year, and you thought that, say you bought it in large and you felt like, oh, maybe I should have gone down to medium. This year, it might not be the case. Yeah. So look at the measurements.
Yeah. Or like last year, some people who might have normally bought large instead bought a medium in the Henley. Yeah. Just because they referred to the measurement charts as they should have. And they determined, this size is going to be better for me or, so they made their choice based on that. And this year's production will fit differently than last year's production. Yeah. Yeah. So hopefully I'm sure we'll answer that question a few more times before they come out. But there was a little bit of adjustment on our end just to make sure that everything is more in line with each other. It's the same thing sort of happens across like all the different things that we make. Like, with our t-shirts, we use the same pattern, but based on the fabric, sometimes things fit a little bit differently. Now, in the case of the Henleys, the Foxfibre Henley fit a little bit more differently than the cashmere version. But with our t-shirts, sometimes, like with the ELS recycled cotton slub, these tend to run bigger because the fabric itself is a lot looser knit. So even if you cut on the same pattern, by the time you wash and, it goes through all the processes, it comes out a little bit bigger. And, whereas the double heavyweight t-shirts, those things are so densely, compactly knit. There's not a lot of, as many of you own them, like you'll notice that like even if you put it in the washing machine, comes out of the dryer, you wore it for 3 days, like there's not a lot of give in that t-shirt. It doesn't really move a lot. Whereas like this t-shirt, if it comes out of the dryer, it might be a little bit more compact. You wear it, okay, loosens up. But if you like take it out of the the machine and you just give it a little bit of an adjustment here, you can get like 3 different sizes out of this thing if you want. If you really want it to be a loose fit, just give it your all. I mean, don't Hulk Hogan it or anything like that, but you can make it really loose. So maybe on a hot summer day, you want the t-shirt to feel a lot looser on your body, and just stretch it out, and it'll stretch out. It'll stay that way. You put it back in the dryer, it'll shrink back up. So depending on the fabric, there's a lot more room for, sizing adjustments. And so, yeah, while we do work with the same pattern, sometimes ultimately they will fit a little bit differently based on the fabric. Yeah. Ron Ray says, I ordered something on Sunday morning and it arrived Wednesday afternoon. Super fast delivery. FedEx really has its logistics done right. I live in Southeast Florida. Well, there you go. We do our best to get everything out to you as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On business days, we make sure it's within 24 hours. But then, it just kind of, after we ship it out within like a short amount of time, it's up to a lot of things that we can't control. So sometimes it takes longer.
Yeah. Customs has their own agendas. But anyway, generally speaking, things get to you pretty fast. And we're glad that you enjoy our speedy service. I like to get things, when I buy stuff, I know I want it in my hands fast. So yeah. We do our best. FCM415 with the never use the size chart. Always ask Bezad via email.
This is not the case.
Yeah, I will
being sarcastic.
Yeah, you are being sarcastic. I will refer you to the size chart. Yeah, it's look, I know people want that extra reassurance, but I do the measurements. So that reassurance is there for you, right? Anyhow, we look, we're here for you. Ultimately, we're here for you. We want to make sure that you get the right size, and so we do our best to do that. And I will also say that the amount of times that some people will order small, medium, large, extra large, like when we get an order like that in the system, like we don't ship it. Like we send you an email, unless we see your order history of like 3 or 4 orders and you've routinely ordered multiple sizes, we'll ship it. But if it's like order number 1 and you've ordered 3 sizes
or 2 sizes, we don't ship it unless we feel confident that is, and oftentimes it is their intention to have maybe 2 different sizes for different fits, or like 2 different people. So it's just, when that's the case, you just have to let us know. No problem, just ship it. And it does add maybe an extra, business day, but like I think it's worth it, because the alternative is that, say if you were like, oh, I'm not unsure, so I'm just gonna order 2 and return 1. Like you might not be actually understanding what cost that is.
It's a big cost.
Yeah.
And so, you got to pay for the shipping. You got to pay for the shipping back. Those taxes or tariffs that you paid, you ain't getting that back. Like I cannot refund you those things. That's right. The government took it. That is a tribute that you paid to them, and they're keeping it. They don't care if you sent it back and that you're going to get another one. You're going to pay for the tariffs again. So we want to make sure that, of course, we have the sizing charts. I'm here to help you. Obviously, try to help yourself before you come to me for a second or a third opinion. But hey, I'm here for you no matter what. We'll see an order in our system that looks, perhaps there might be a problem with it, right? You might not understand that there's actually sometimes people don't even understand that we're shipping from Japan, right? Just people buy stuff on the internet. They just think it's local, and they don't realize that there's actually quite a lot of logistical costs and back end stuff that has to go on. And so when we see that there's potentially an issue, we try to reach out. We try to fix it. Sometimes people don't realize, hey, you know what? I was buying all these because I wanted to double check or triple check my size, and now I realize the costs. Let's try to find the size for you. I've done it where I've seen people and it's their first order and they buy 6, XLs. They just buy every color, everything in XL, and I'm like, hey, I see this is your first order. I don't know if you should buy, because if it's not the right size, no, you got to send 6 back, and if you have to send 6 back, that's a lot of weight. That's a lot of extra costs. Let's try to drill down the size first. Let's send you one, right? And if that fits, then we'll send the rest. But we can work with you in that regard. We really try to help, so that you get the product right the first time. And if we have to go through the return process, no problem.
Yeah,
we'll try to make it as smooth as possible. It's a bumpy road, but we've got shocks, right?
We just like to mitigate the problems.
Yeah. That's it. Okay.
Wow, the video is making a.
What's going on?
Daniel also asked, have you guys seen the shift fashion group black tea? What are your thoughts? Oh, we answered this earlier. Yeah. So just go back in the thing, but it's making a round.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, and
but we
did share our thoughts earlier. In respect to just I forget if they called it the perfect or the best t-shirt, and our response was that there is no such thing as the perfect or the best. There are many perfects and there are many bests, and there is a variety of qualities that you might enjoy, and it all depends on who you are, what kind of fit you like, the fabrics you like, and how you're going to enjoy that t-shirt. So that's my thoughts there. Manuel says, question to boost cortisol. Okay, which color of the Amami t-shirts has the lowest inventory at Wonderlooper HQ?
Shibori,
the Shibori, yeah,
by far. Yeah. Like we have barely anything left.
So let's get to it.
The Amami hand-dyed t-shirts, we obviously, as we mentioned many times before, like when we do a brand new thing, obviously this t-shirt base is the same as ELS, which we've been running for a while, but this like natural hand dye thing is especially in this colorway, it's a first for us. So it wasn't we didn't go too deep because we try not to get ourselves in a
pickle.
Yeah, so that's what we did, but that's the reason why we don't have a whole lot of inventory, where like it's so much inventory that it's not going to be a problem selling out or anything like that. I think it is going to be a problem of having enough inventory. However, I would say that a lot of our retail partners believed in this project a lot more, maybe more than we did, honestly. So there's a lot that is out there. It's just that in our warehouse, we've sold a lot through the showroom.
The thing is that like these three colors have been in our showroom for months.
Yeah, for a long time.
Yeah. It's just the Doro took a long time to get here.
We had the most volume and it the weather and all that. So this is why we have a lot less of these three colors in the stock.
But there's like 800 units out there in the realm across our retail partners. So by next newsletter, which will be on Friday, I will outline exactly what is sold out or what there's little of. So at the very least, you'll know, hey, should I rely on Wonderlooper to get this color, or should I get it from, James Dant or Blue Owl or somebody else? So we will have that information available for you. And, because we still have appointments this week. And of course, if you visit our showroom, if we have it in stock, it's available for purchase. So that is that is our special thing that we offer here. So a lot of people, whether it's these t-shirts or Super Loopers or Foxfibre sweatshirts, people definitely take advantage of that. And like nobody's hoarding. Like nobody's being like, give me 25 of these, I'm gonna go sell them on eBay. Like nobody does that. People are buying for themselves, but people know that, hey, I can get access to that early. Well, some people definitely take advantage of that. So that said, the most limited one, as Risa mentioned, is this one. We made less of this in general because, look, I know this isn't for everybody. Yeah. This is not for everyone. I love this t-shirt. I just know it's not for everybody. The next three we have, I would say the most stock is the Doro, because it's the newest, as you mentioned. One thing about the Doro is that we had the photos on the website and we had to update them a little bit because the original photos were sort of a pre-washed version of the Doro, and it was a lot darker than this. And so it is less saturated before. The photos are updated on the website. They've been there for a while, but if you might be thinking, oh, I remember that being darker. It was darker, but that was based off an older sample.
Yeah.
And so basically, when all of these came back from Amami, because they're hand dyed, they're washed and hung, they're kind of out of shape, right? And so in order to get them into shape, we did a commercial wash on them. So just to wash them, and everything sort of comes back properly to shape. And so like they weren't sort of deformed. It's not that they were actually deformed. It's just that,
it was actually like the biggest issue was the length, because they do hang dry. And it just with the weight of the thing, like it got so long, and it would have been very confusing size-wise to kind of
do a measurement chart based on that.
Right.
Be like, yeah, these are like 2 inches longer than they like.
And also wider.
Yeah.
Just like, the hand things, like it does put, especially with something that is kind of loose knit fabric like this, it does affect the sizing a lot. Like it wasn't a problem with double heavyweight t-shirts with the indigo, because that fabric is just like you cannot stretch it or shrink it. It's just so dense.
It's fixed.
It is what it is. With this, it's a little bit more loose knit, airy. So like it does have a room for stretching and shrinking.
Yeah.
So we did have to wash it, commercial wash it.
And so color wise, like
it is a little bit lighter.
It's a lighter than some of the older samples, but it would have happened anyways. Like as soon as you washed it, that sort of color would have came out anyway. Right. So there is a bit of color shift with these t-shirts, as I would say is to be expected. But so just be aware of that. We'll cover that in the video, the full length video, but you'll know it here as well. So just be aware of that. And then we did ship these out to everybody. So there's a you can see it here. If you go on the website, let's go back over there. There we go. 1 second. Go to the website. Already on the main page, you can see for yourself, there's the availability. So if you just want to look at the collection itself, you can see how this used to be darker, but they're less saturated. And you can see the measurement charts are here. It's the same as the ELS recycled cotton slub t-shirt. So if you have one of those, that's sort of more or less what you can expect. Of course, do yourself a favor. Do your measurements before you shop, and that's why we have all this information available to you before the release. And if you go to retailer availability right here, we have the full list of retailers as well as the colors that they are stocking. So you'll see that the Doro Shibori is a little bit more limited across the board. But if you are looking for it, you know who to look for. Some retailers carry the full thing, like Gerhard over here or Cultism. So look through here. If you've got a local retailer that you work with, maybe check in with them. But yeah, there's still a good amount of the Doro Shiboris out there for those people who are looking for it. But in terms of like the rest of the colors, I mean, a lot of retailers went at the very least like the first 3 colors. And they carried a lot. So if you're looking for this, you should have a good chance of getting it. Cool. If there's any further questions, now's the time. We've got Sergeant Beef saying clothing is like a tool. There's a specific use and purpose depending on the size of the job. Exactly. And that's in reference to the perfect garment or the perfect t-shirt, depends on how you're going to enjoy it. Tarek asks, are the shirts more red in color or brown?
Which one?
I would say that there's a hint of red in everything, right? Like even the brown there's a rosiness to this brown, right? But you can see there's definitely lots of red in there, right?
I mean the under is red.
Yeah. Yeah. Ron Ray asks, do you plan on bringing back the sweat shorts?
We're thinking about it.
Yeah.
We're thinking about it. That's all we're gonna say.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do need to make a decision soon.
Okay.
Especially for next spring.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll keep you updated.
Yeah. Hex asks, is the Shireen Bai plus Doro colorway still the same as the brick color of the sample that was previewed a while ago? I remember it was previewed near the end of last year. Was the initial sample? Yeah. So the Shireen Bai plus Doro, that's this color right here. It's still pretty bricky, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's hard to say that like it was the same as last time you saw it or anything. It's not as of a drastic color change than the Doro Max. But look at it now. This is the
Right.
color that's
Right.
that we're selling.
So like.
Yeah, so comparing to the past ones, just this is the color.
Yeah. I will have like my sample that I wore since like last fall that has been washed and everything, and I will show you like the evolution. And
Right.
like there's some color shift, but yeah.
And also just like if you buy two, it does not look exactly the same because they're not like exactly the same. Like every single one is dyed with hand, and it had to be done in different batches. That it's not going to be accurate color. If you're going for an accuracy of
this is not it.
This is not it.
Yeah.
Don't even worry about that. It's just expect some variance. Even within one t-shirt, it will be darker parts and lighter parts and stuff like that. And obviously with the like over the screen, it's going to look different from what you see in person.
Right.
So this is more of a nuanced, like you I hate to say this, but like you need to be okay with like
imperfection.
Yeah, and maybe this is maybe redder than I thought, or this is maybe a little bit darker than I thought. That kind of thing. It's like you just have to be okay with it.
Yeah, this is, I wabi sabi is the word that gets used, I would think, too often in whatever it is that's like made in Japan. But this is it,
Well, this is the thing of handwork, right? Like it's not as of uniform and accurate and perfect. Like
it's not like making like a computer PCB, okay? Where if it's not perfect, it's not going to work.
Right.
The colors are going to vary. If you buy two of these, I guarantee you, my only guarantee is that they will be different.
Yeah.
So
yes,
that's what you're getting here. Again, I think most people get it, but I can assure you that I will get that email. And I'm just hoping that I reach you before you send the email. I'm reaching out to you now, okay? Let's hold hands, okay? My hand is touching your hand out there. I want you to understand that this t-shirt is not going to solve all your problems. But if your problem is that I want this hand-dyed, slubby t-shirt in my life, it will solve that problem. It will. And it will be imperfect. It will change colors over time. It will evolve with you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what this t-shirt is all about.
Yes.
So, there you go. Steven says, on my screen, the dark one looks more purpley brown. Yeah, screens, lighting. I would have to say that like the hardest part of my job is trying to get that color right for you guys. Because sometimes when you take a photo, you have your own artistic bias in there as well. Like generally speaking, I like my photos to be a little bit warmer. I don't know why. When I look at a photo, when I take a photo, I like warm colors. I think it's easier on my eyes. But sometimes I take a look at that warm color on the screen and I'm like, oh, it's it's not so representative of the proper color.
Yeah.
And so
but you're also taking more of a stylized photo.
Yeah.
With the product photo, I think it's a little bit more like sterile.
Yeah.
Environment. Like we need to go for more color accuracy, and we do outsource that photo now because it just like
they have a proper photo studio. And,
but even then, like I feel like what I'm looking at on my screen is not correct, and I look at it on my oftentimes I use iPhone as like the thing that determines, because my computer screen can be like varied from other things, but a lot of people are shopping on the phone, and a lot of people have iPhones, so like I try to kind of,
if it looks good on the iPhone properly, then I have an idea that we have it right. So I also, when we do photos, I try to do them outside, different lighting conditions, so I try to get a mix so that you can kind of get an idea, or at least a better idea of what to expect. But it's definitely a challenge of shopping online.
But when it comes to this especially, it's just that each individual piece is so different as well. So I mean that's what I just wanted to convey, that it can't be like, oh, this is a slightly off color than what I saw on the screen. It's just like, if you worried about that, wait till like you wash it.
So just anyhow, I think the warning of these t-shirts is out. Good to see you, Mr. Arif. Hi, joining in late from Chicago. Took a sashiko stitching class today. Nice. Very cool. Super excited to practice mending garments, wearing Ultimate Pima tee and some OG 107 vintage fatigues. That's a great combination. And I may have missed this, but any updates on the tote? So the totes my goats. So some people might not even know what's happening.
We don't have an updated sample, but we are making a little bit of change.
Yeah. So this is the original sample. But so the idea is that we're going to use a heavy Oxford in a sort of ecru color and in a fox fiber. Though we have decided to do a few changes on the final production, and that sample is in production now. So anyway, we're just in another round of sampling. So this is coming. So it will. I would say that ultimately the shape and look are going to be about this, but there might be some construction details that are going to vary here. I think we're adding a pocket on the front, and anyway, that's to come. So we'll probably have another updated sample soon.
Probably.
Who knows? Probably.
Yeah.
We've got Disable This. I know that icon. I think that's Mr. Garrett here from the show formerly known as This Week and Tate and Yoko, and the store that is still currently known as Tate and Yoko in Montreal.
Yes,
but also more broadly known as Naked and Famous Denim. Good to see you, my friend. Loving the new socks. Well, thank you very much. Garrett was here a few weeks ago. We had him on the show. It's good to see him. We miss you, buddy. Come back to Japan soon. Steven asks, is the bottom double layered? The bottom on this sample is not, but the next sample will have a.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
It's
heavy. That's sort of the problem.
Very heavy.
But that is one of the things we wanted done. So we will have a new tote update for you. Disable This says, will the bag be available through retailers?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Not right now. We'll discuss this.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Sometimes like costing wise, it doesn't make sense for like wholesale distribution. But if you need to get one, I think you know somebody. Peaceful Kino says happy 100th. Thank you very much. It is our 100th episode today. Thank you very much. I this morning I was like, oh yeah, it's our 100th. I'm like, I didn't prepare anything.
We never do.
Yeah,
Just
we
never do. We're
often
not
just
good
wing
at,
these
yeah.
things.
We're also not good at birthdays, like
Birthdays are
anniversaries.
yeah.
It's just
I work on birthdays. We work on anniversaries. We don't. We're very bad at celebrating like actual celebrations of like if it's our niece or nephew, like you know what I mean. Like if it's somebody else's thing, sure.
Yeah.
But like if it's for ourselves,
it's hard.
it's just
I think about it, but
Yeah.
then like it's just like it's today.
Yeah. What do you want to do? I don't know. It's fine. We're not good at that. We have to get better at it. I think it's probably a good thing to celebrate our milestones in more than one way. But yeah, we'll maybe at 150 we'll have a proper. We'll get some firecrackers.
Garrett says you need a cake.
There you go. But
100 is like the milestone. Like we're not going to be able to celebrate. If we didn't celebrate 100, we can't celebrate 200. We're going to have to wait till 1,000.
We can celebrate 101. Right? 101. Okay. Bella Bora says, when is Wonder Looper's official start date?
I would say December 2022 is when the
first release was December 2022. So right at the end of 2022. I mean,
was the beginning of the brand in terms of like on the market.
Yeah.
So that would be the birth date. If you equate to human life.
Yeah.
You spend a lot of the first months
in the womb,
outside of the world. Well, inside of the world, but not quite part of the world. So that was happening prior to in 2022.
That was our pregnancy stage.
Yes, we were pregnant. We were working on delivering this baby, and then we delivered in December 2022.
Yeah, so right at the end. Mm-hmm. So what that exact date is, I do not remember.
I don't know.
But
I mean, it's like we're not going to celebrate that day.
Yeah.
We're going to celebrate
I would say that it hasn't quite been 4 years yet, but it's coming up on that. Has been very fast. Like it has been a blink of an eye fast. Everything that has happened, and so. Now I think, okay, well, last week there was a good question like, oh, where do you see yourselves in 5 years? Like, what's your 5-year plan? That sort of idea. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, our plan right now is just to like get the next season's production
just
going.
To
get the samples out the door.
Honestly, I'm worried about this fall. Like every season, there's just like new challenges. And I thought this office would solve a lot of the challenges, which it did.
It has,
it did. But there's new challenges, and just we're kind of, what's the saying? Flying by the seat
of our
kind of thing. So we were just tackling problems as they come.
Right. There's but I think that in any business, anywhere you are, there's always a certain amount of, man, we just gotta. Like there's no rest stage where you're like, okay, I can let it, I can just let this go on autopilot. There's no autopilot, and so
right,
which I'm fine. Like I'm fine with this. I'm used to this environment of like go, but in terms of like building a company and this, it's just our aim isn't. I always joke, we're going to be big as Apple. Like, our aim isn't to be, some multi-giant conglomeration. That's not really our goal here. So there isn't like some, okay, well, by Q4 next year, we need to have this many employees and this many sales and this and that and yada, yada. There aren't these types of metrics. Like, we're not trying to build a company so that we can have all these big metrics so that we can then sell it to some other company. Like, that's not my goal here. We want to have just a long-term business that, Risa and I can enjoy making the kinds of things that we like and offering them to the people that we like.
But I do say this, like, there is more of like a direction that we kind of need to maybe start discussing, is that there comes a point when you're up till here, we were very excited to grow this business. Like it's every season we make new products, and we still want to make new products because we're always constantly interested in new fibers, new knitting, new fabrics, all those things. So like our drive is to always grow because we don't want to give up on the old stuff old stuff, but like the stuff that we made in the past, we want to continue selling and making, and we want to add to that collection. So like we're just kind of growing, and it's been fun, and it's great so far, but there comes a point where like if we get larger as a brand, there's gonna
there's more challenges. I mean, there's more customer service, there's more shipping, there's more of everything that you need to do, and there's a point where like you
cannot do everything.
You can't do it all. So like Risa needs help. You know what I mean?
Right. I don't like, being the business manager. I don't want to run a business. That's not my passion. My passion is to make products, and and this comes as a part of running your own business. But like when keeping up with accounting and all these things comes, like it does have to happen. And the volume gets larger, and if I'm spending so much more time there, then that's not something that we want to be like. I want to be doing.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you get sort of bogged down in the I would say the administrative part of running a business, and that's sort of the when you're. I mean, look, we're capable of doing those things. Don't get me wrong, but it's like. You don't want Michael Jordan to be, the guy giving out the Gatorade. You want him shooting 3-pointers and slamming dunks, right? You want him to do the things that he's best at. And so, there comes a time where like we will need to continue to grow. And that means like, having help and hiring people and having assistance where, we need someone who's going to be really good at like creating content and making videos, and that'd be great. And then we have someone who's going to be great on like the administrative side of things.
Yeah.
So that's all sort of the thing that needs to happen. And before you send us your email, before you send me or Risa your email saying, I want to help you. I know you want to help me. I know, because every time I hear you. I hear you, all of you. I hear it. Let's touch hands again. I hear you guys. I feel it. I feel the love. If you're in Japan, you're here in Nippon, then give me an email. We can use you, and you have to speak Japanese. There's like especially for Risa's work.
Well, okay. We do have a Wyatt.
Yeah.
Very helpful guy, and we do need English speaking help. Yes. He helps with the customer service and all of those things that needs to happen in English.
Yeah.
And you need to be able to communicate with BayZ. It's important.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of things that only I'm allowed to do because
Wyatt can speak Japanese. Yes. He's not as fluent as Risa is. My Japanese is as good as a infant child. So there's a lot of things that I just can't do. So
yes,
if our next hires need to be much more fluent and able to work in this country, so those are some of the qualities
willing
that
to
we're
improve their language skills. If you're not native, I don't need to discuss politics with you. I just need somebody who can
maybe handle some things in Japanese. So we are being faith healed. Bleach bone. That's it. My hand's touching your hand. We're all guys. We're just take a moment here. All right, there we go. Everyone's okay.
With that said, we are approaching 4 years for your birthday.
Yeah,
and maybe 4 is not a good number. So maybe on the 5th birthday, we should start a 5-year
special item thing.
Maybe. we gotta start
We
working
gotta
on
start
that.
working on it now,
Yeah.
given how long it takes us to
Yeah.
make anything. We've got Yach 1D saying konnichiwa, konnichiwa. Thank you very much. Hired, done. Stephen Gopalcamp says, "I will help you by purchasing items I like." Well, there. Thank you very much. That's
the best kind of help.
That's it.
Yeah.
And then I know BD's in the chat. He mentioned it somewhere, but another great way to help us, a fantastic way to help us, that costs you nothing, by the way. Hit that like button. I know you've got one. You've all got that like button, and you can all just lend us a like. That's it. It doesn't even take anything away from you. You just they're there to give, and if you don't use it, you don't lose it. But we lose it, so you can give it. And if you just I can feel the likes, but I want to see the likes. So everybody out there, let's put your hand up on the screen there with me. And while you do it, slide it down to the like button. Hit that like button.
I want to see.
And subscribe.
I want to see what's happening.
Yeah. There you go. All right. We see it coming through. Thank you very much. We feel that love. Brother love out there for, let's see if anyone gets that reference. I love you. See, BD knows. Okay. We've got Billy Mays is in the house. Good to see you, Billy. Thoughts on making a chore jacket with heavyweight sashiko fabric or any other garment?
Any other garment.
Any other garment is possible. Chore coat, I'm not there yet.
We are making work shirts.
Yeah.
So that's a step further into a different commodity.
Yeah. So there will be some non-traditional knits in the realm, and even our work shirt still is a knit. And if you haven't seen it, if you haven't tuned in for a while, I can show you what we're talking about.
Yeah. This is something that we're very excited about because we've only made sweatshirts, hoodies, and t-shirts, and now we're making something that has buttons.
Yeah.
Well, Henley had buttons.
Here, I'm gonna put it on.
Yeah. Colors. And I think it came out very, very nicely, and we're still kind of sticking with the knit fabric. So traditionally, or just in general, like work shirts are usually made with woven fabrics. Nothing wrong with that. They're suitable for that. But we actually kind of made this garment with knit fabric, even though it's traditionally made with woven fabric. It does add a little bit of comfort.
Yeah.
But it also is a little bit more, I don't know, put together than the t-shirt.
Right. And so it has like a natural stretch to it that you would get from a knit, but it is dense enough that it sort of looks like a woven. In fact, it's washed and it has sort of this meltony look to it.
It does very much look like a melting, like flannelly look.
Yeah. And so this is made with that cotton, Foxfibre, and yak blend. So you have I would have to say, a very handsome looking work shirt here. I really like this scoop part here. So, if you want to wear it closed, you can wear it closed, but I get the sense that people are going to wear it pretty casually, open like this. And, what I like about that scoop is that it just gives you like nice, easy access there to your pockets when you need them. But it is just a very cozy, comfortable shirt. Mm-hmm. And it's going to keep you nice and warm on those cold winter days and nights. So we have it available here in the darker version. And then we also have it
tobacco and ash.
So 2 color options here. And like many of our other products, whenever we use buttons, those are going to feature real horn buttons as well. So 2 great colors here. Very, very comfortable. And we're using that yak-blend yarn that we've got for this coming fall season. So you'll see that throughout the collection a little bit. So more fall previews here.
So we do it like there is quite a bit of shrinkage in that fabric. So we did do a garment wash as well. So it does kind of add like a little bit vintagey feel to the fabric too. It just have this like, well worn kind of look. So out of out of the bag, it just feels like it's
Your favorite old shirt?
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Embroidery is possible on those. The sample that Bezat was just wearing was a size medium, so it is. I would say it's a little bit on a looser fit,
like shacket fit.
Shacket fit. Yeah.
So it's not going to be close to the body. It should be a little loose. Of course, we're going to have those measurement guides for you, but the idea is that it's
you layer over a t-shirt kind of thing. Yeah.
So there you go. We've got Sergeant Beef saying, dude, that's a cool shirt. Love the texture. Well, thank you very much. Does Yak offer some waterproofing like wool? Not in this amount. If you have like a thick, dense wool Melton, there's going to be some level of waterproofing in there. But like this is cotton and wool blend. Like it's not... You're not wearing this, not wool, but yak. But like, this isn't anywhere
20% yak.
Yeah. It's not going to be water resistant anything.
No. Yeah. And it's not a super heavyweight fabric either. It is like drapeable. Yeah. And it's not like a wool jacket level. Right.
It's not like a navy pea coat. You know what I mean? So it's a casual shirt.
As releasing this fall, yes.
Q4. Yeah.
It might actually spill over. It's potentially.
It'll still be winter. There'll still be snow on the ground. Cold, yes. Yeah. Now pricing.
I don't want to say anything that is wrong. I can check if you want.
Risa will double check. Okay. But, I would say it's sort of in the realm of our Foxfibre double heavyweight sweatshirts. Is that acceptable?
It's slightly less than that.
Okay, slightly less than that.
Sweatshirts. I don't know. Sometimes I don't even know all of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of numbers to keep up with. So anyway, Risa's double checking here. Yeah. Very good. All right. What's this going on? Okay, Stephen Kopelkamp says, so long as you're generally in the black, you're probably doing all right, says the guy who's never ran a business. Yeah, so long as you're earning money and not losing it, you're probably doing okay, though there's all kinds of companies out there that produce no money and lots of debt, and they're the biggest companies in the world. So I'm just going to say that there's a fundamental difference in like what I understand business to be versus, the richest people on the planet, because those people seem to produce all kinds of, this company doesn't make any money and blah, 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 and they're worth this much. I'm like, I don't know how you do that. That's some voodoo magic that I'm very unaware of. I just know that if you make something good at a price that's reasonable and people like it, you'd be okay.
Speaking of reasonable.
Okay, speaking of reasonable. Depends what you mean by reasonable. This is a yak-blend knit shirt.
Foxfibre heavy also.
Yeah.
It is not cheap. Okay.
Right.
So the work shirt will retail at 74,000 Japanese yen.
Well, let's just do the math there.
It's about $450 US.
So 450 USD.
I don't know.
Around there.
Put in
74,000. That's around 450 USD.
Yeah.
Okay, so 450 USD on the yak blend shirts.
Work shirts, yeah.
Okay, so there you have it. So not inexpensive.
Not inexpensive.
But
it
is a
is
very finely made shirt.
I think so. I do think that, every time we make something that's very, very special, Foxfibre, for instance, is a very expensive cotton for cotton standard. And, with Iron Mordant and everything, like, it does add a lot of cost. So I remember when we first decided to do the double heavyweight French terry in Foxfibre and Iron Mordant especially, it was, the price was way more than what we thought we could, sell a lot of.
Yeah.
But it turns out, I think, because we're not just putting this price point just because we feel like it's special enough or anything like that. It's just it is actually a costly product to make. And I think as long as we convey why this is so pricey, why it is the price that it is, and I feel like enough people will respond to that. And it's just we always go back to like the one thing that I think we heard in our live stream, like early on in the Wonder Looper journey, is that, like, if it's the happiness you get from the products,
Sure.
right? Like, it's not just like whether, like, it's I don't know. It's just what you put in as a value is the I forgot what the saying was.
That's okay.
But do you know what I'm talking about? Like, we were talking about how yeah, I mean, if you love the garment enough, and if you can like understand what
Goes into it. Yeah.
and then you get a lot of like wear out of it and happiness out of it, then it's just,
a lot. Yeah. But also, I mean, I think a lot of people understand what goes into these garments, and there's some comments here, not bad, actually reasonable, and I would say price point, it's for what it is, price point, it's on par with some other companies in terms of like their heavyweight flannels. So yeah, I don't think that our realm, while there are a lot of pricier pieces out there, when you even compare it outside of our realm, when you go into the luxury world, our prices are it's a walk in the park compared to some of the things you'll see out there. I mean, I have to say that, like, I don't go to a lot of shopping malls anymore, but like the last time we were in Canada, like you walk through these shopping malls and like it seemed, I don't know what it's like in the States, but it's just seemingly that all the malls are turning into like the airport, where like they have all the luxury brands have just taken over all the malls in Canada, and like you walk through there and you're like, who's buying all this stuff? That's number one. But number two is like, you look at here's a white shirt, just a white cotton t-shirt, no description, no, you know what I mean? And it's like, it's double or triple the kind of prices that we're offering out there. So,
but clearly, like, I think our customer is not that type of customer who blindly buys something because it has a luxury brand name on it. So,
but I just feel that, like, in terms of like the companies that are delivering the actual luxury in terms of quality, you're not going to get quality you're not going to get that level. You can get quality at any price, but you're not going to get that level of quality for like, what you're going to spend at like the big box store, right? You got the big box store, you get that level of quality for that price, right? But there are things out there that are offering like far less quality for far more money. And I know that that's definitely not this audience, but it's in our realm where I think you pack in the most in terms of quality and price point. And you're not always going to get, you're definitely not getting the bottom, but you're far from the top. Right? So anyhow, we'll I think this will be a very popular shirt.
Yeah.
And I think you'll get a lot of wear and enjoyment from it. So yeah, look, we're also a smaller operation. So in general, we're able to keep certain amounts of costs down. So it is the best price that we can offer. Anyhow, that's it. Okay. Steven says, you're not just buying a garment, you're buying a story. Yeah, but you're also buying, again, it's all the people who touched this product as well. It's the yak, it's the Sally Fox, it's the special yarn construction, it's everything in between. So yeah, it's we're really trying to make some special items here. The malls by me are dead, only filled with elderly getting their steps in. Mall walkers. Yeah, I used to work in a lot of malls as a young person, just from one mall to the next mall to the next mall. And the mall walkers were always a constant. Didn't matter which mall you were in, there was always a group of elderly people who were there before the mall opened. They'll have their little weights. They have their walking outfits. They have their groups. They walk the mall. And then when the mall opens, they're over there at McDonald's getting their seniors coffee and enjoying a little get together every day.
I mean, it makes total sense, especially in a place like Canada. Like you can't always
walk outside. Yeah.
So that's a very wholesome. I like that.
Yeah.
And then when we like walking around with the weights, like they're doing much better than I am.
Well,
good for them.
Yeah, good for them. Good old mall walkers. But yeah, the malls it's weird because in some places they're just totally dead. And then in other places they are thriving. Like in Mississauga, Ontario. Like Square One, you go there, that mall is packed.
Packed.
Mind you, Square One is like a lot of cities, like their downtown core is like a downtown core, streets and shops and restaurants. Whereas this city was sort of developed that like the downtown core is the mall. Like everything happens at the mall. All the restaurants, all the shops, everything. There's a Walmart, there's a grocery store. Everything is there. So it is definitely unique in that respect. But even then, like from like growing up there and it being like, I would say fairly working class, they had their rich areas of Mississauga. This is just a suburb of Toronto. But now you go in there and it's just like luxury brand. I'm just like, wow. Like, I never felt like rich living there. And then like now you go to that mall and it's like, even if you're not rich, you go to the mall, you're like, man, what happened? I feel like I feel like a rich guy walking through here. The mall is like quite beautiful and
it's very interesting.
Yeah.
Like I wonder how well those stores are doing.
Yeah,
like,
I wonder. I don't know. They're there, so
they're there.
Yeah. BD says, I hope people look into the items they buy from you or check out old streams on YouTube. I think about the stories or how I felt first seeing and wearing them. Yeah, I think a lot of people enjoy the fact that they watch some of these products come to life from, conception to first sample, second sample, all the way to the end. You probably don't get to see that with a lot of products out there in the world. The product is, here it is on the shelf. I mean, how many things, I would say that the things that I find somewhat annoying about, when I look at a product and the price is beyond what I would expect that price to be, I'm like, what is it? Right? Like, is there something to this, or are they just trying to pull the wool over my eyes? Right? Maybe there's something to it, but there's nothing. There's no information about this. It's just a big price point. And, tell me something about it. Because I can, like, if a shirt is $1,000, let's just say a shirt is $1,000, like, it could be worth it, or it could be totally not worth it. And it is really dependent on what that is.
Yeah.
And if there's no information on it, well,
yeah.
Like, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah. It's on the brands to convey, if they're using premium material or whatever, like, then it's on the brands to tell the story.
Right.
Put it out there.
Like so many garments are at best like blends of wool and polyester, cotton and polyester, and still charge a high price. Yeah. I would say that polyester, things like that, they do often get a bad rap. If it's all about the application. Like sometimes people use it to make fabrics cheaper.
Sometimes they make it to perform the way that they like a suit that doesn't wrinkle,
right?
Or that you can wash in the washing machine.
Yeah, so it depends on its use case for sure. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of the use cases for these synthetics is to make fabric cheaper.
Right.
It's filler.
Yeah. It looks the same, but it's
right. And they don't expect you to have this thing for that long anyways. So, so long as it looks good for the few times that you're going to wear it, that's all that really matters. So where it ends up in the rest of its lifetime, it ain't really my problem. I don't think that way, but that's a good many companies definitely think that way.
Yeah.
But
there's more.
But there's sometimes more to it. Sometimes like if you buy a Hawaiian shirt, for example, like I want that to be all rayon. Yeah. Like I want that to be it doesn't need to be silk. it needs to be rayon because that's how those Hawaiian shirts are made. They need to be swooshy and somewhat cheesy, and they have to have that look to them. That, to me, that's what makes it look real and authentic. So yeah.
And it's just like the thought of like, oh, like man-made fibers cheaper and natural fibers like more expensive or more premium. Like, it's not that simple. Like anything else in the world, there's more to the story, and there's in general, you can have a preference of fibers, and like you feel better, and there's all these benefits and all of that. But if you like, understanding that is the first part, and not like having this
immediate
preconceived
reaction,
notion of like, oh, it's got some man-made fibers, therefore it's bad for you, or therefore that it's not worth it. I think it's very wrong.
Yeah, but that's why we have this channel. That's why we have you guys, because the truth is somewhere in the nuance, right? Again, I'm a fashion guy, so my Instagram and my this and that, I get everyone's there's 1,000,001 reviewers now, and like every time I'm scrolling through, I get somebody's new hot take on, oh, did you know that this is the most evil fabric in the world? Oh, and did you know if you have a seam like this is the cheapest way to No, it's not. Like, it all depends. It all depends on what you want to do. It was like, if you want to make jeans well, right? Sometimes what that means is using irregular fabrics or using threads that aren't technically perfect in order to create somewhat of a jankier look, or like, there's the perfect, quote unquote, perfect way of doing it, using the finest spun yarns and perfect stitching and this and that. Everything looks clean and perfect. But like, you also have to consider, what is this garment that we're wearing? It's a jean jacket, right? It's rugged, it's tough. So like, I don't want it to look like I'm wearing some Italian, perfectly tailored suit. I want it to look like it's tough and, a little bit janky. So sometimes you use the materials that aren't technically perfect, although sometimes it's hard to make those materials imperfect so that you get that old school look, because back then they weren't thinking about this and that. It was mass market, right? And they used the technology of the time to make it as good as they could. Maybe. Sometimes they didn't. Sometimes they're just like, man, we got to make it cheap and fast. It all depends. Yeah. So
this is a topic for another live stream, because it's way more. We're running out of time. But like I think one of the most expensive fibers that we come across, is semi-man-made fabric, right? Like the brute protein.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So we'll talk about that another time. But it is there's more to this kind of.
That's true. Yeah, some man-made. Anyhow, that was a semi-natural. Anyhow, there are some weird materials we have come across in our days.
Very interesting. Yeah. But we decided.
Sometimes they work out, sometimes they don't. Yeah. Anyhow.
But yeah.
Anyhow, very fun this is a very fun conversation every single time, because I'm sure many people have heard this before. Maybe you're learning something new, or maybe there's people in here in the chat that haven't heard this information before. So it's a nice mix of everything. Yeah. So that said, we do have, it's not exactly an exciting snack time. It's not the most, but I do have something to show you.
It is kind of indicative of I don't know. It's a little bit depressing.
Yeah. So a couple of weeks ago, here in the news in Japan, and I guess because of global shortages for this, that, and the other thing, and it's all I can say is that, like, when you're on the back end of these things, when you're trying to source raw materials or whatever it is, whatever industry you're in, I'm sure there's somebody in there who's like, oh man, this whole global situation is causing this problem and that problem. And like, by the time it ends up to the consumer, sometimes they don't see it because like the product is still on the shelf, right? The price might be higher, or maybe there's a little less of it in there, but the product is still on the shelf. And
from like a perspective of like running a business, like everybody was warning us, like plastic bags, you need plastic bags for like
Storing
putting the
all your
garments
products in.
and shipping in it and stuff. So like everybody was like, you gotta be ready for that. And then I mean, I didn't take it that seriously, but I was like, it's in the back of my head, so I tried to move quicker. Nobody told us, and I still don't know how this relates, but all of a sudden, packing tape.
Yeah, packing tape in this country. It's hard to get.
It's so hard to get. In the past, like couple months, like I've been having trouble getting it. It's just like nobody's talking about this, and it's like how is it even related? I don't know, but it has to be some kind of shortage. So but anyway, I don't know how this relates.
So on the news in Japan, they're like, oh yeah, all the chip companies. Yeah, they're not using colored ink anymore because there's a it's hard to get. There's just less of it to go around. So they're whatever packaging they have, they're going to use it, and then they're going to start switching over to more generic packaging because
low ink.
Yeah, low ink thing. So we found one, and I mean it's the Calbee, potato chips. I have to admit that I do like the packaging, though it is somewhat dystopian.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to see an entire row of these at the grocery store.
Yeah.
And, there's just nothing exciting about it. It is as utilitarian as it can get. And it's just, here are some potato chips.
Still recognizable. Yeah. Everybody knows this logo and what you're getting.
I've seen a few of these out there. It hasn't swept the nation yet.
No, there's a couple.
But... yeah. Isn't this a little sad, guys? It's a little sad.
Yeah.
So
I have seen something like this for like a business use.
Yeah.
Like, people who run restaurants who need or hotels who need cereals or whatever that buys in this kind of packaging.
Yeah, generic packaging.
This is for like consumers. So this is kind of the new thing.
Yeah, so that's it.
But again, I don't think this is gonna like spread to what's here. Spread to the whole market. I don't think this is where it's going.
Yeah, we'll see. I hope not. I certainly hope not. Role play being in a dystopian novel. I would feel sad eating the whole bag by myself. It's, in one way, it's like, you look at these kind of things, you're like, whoa, chromed out bag of chips. And like,
kind of cool.
It is kind of cool, but knowing why it's like this is the not cool part. Right? So, Canadian head vice, dystopia. Yeah. It's just a regular bag of chips. I don't know if we're going to eat them. It's still early to eat chips, but I just wanted to show this. You want to have some?
No.
Okay, we'll leave it there then. But yeah, that's that time. But yeah, packing tape. Good God, it's...
I don't know.
We're able to get, like, I can't get the brown, like, we were able to find white packing tape the other day.
Yeah, but I think the pack that I bought was the last one, because after that I couldn't get any more. So I don't know. It doesn't match the box because it's white, and like I wanted the brown, craft color one, and I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. So far in textile industry, I think that a lot of like old school mills, like fabric mills and stuff, that uses the machines that run on the like oil based energy, they're kind of being impacted. I mean, those are not like mainstream. Like it's not affecting the entire industry or anything like that. But I think I've heard some things about that. So, it's interesting.
Yeah. Anyhow, we'll leave it there. I won't. As much as I wanna, yell and scream and blame, and we all know. That's all I can say. We all know. And we'll leave it there.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody? We'll leave it there. We'll leave it. It's not a high note, but
it's a very sad note.
It's a somber note. The world, it's going to be fine. The good always win.
We made it to 100 episodes.
That's right. We made it to 100 episodes. Okay? So I'm very, very proud of this moment. Here's to 100,000 episodes.
That's a big jump.
Okay. If my head is in a jar floating around Futurama style, I am for it. I will be talking about knitwear for as long as there is an Earth on this planet. That's my hope. It's my dream. So there you go. Everybody,
All right. Well,
we'll be back.
for watching.
Yeah, thank you for watching. We will be back again next week. It will be a little bit earlier.
Yes, next week is the release day. So
Yes.
we didn't talk about release so much, but we did a little bit.
Yeah, I guess we did a little bit. So just to end on it, next week, Sunday, June 5th, is the release of the Amami-dyed t-shirt. Sunday, June 5th at 8 p.m. Eastern. So we will start the live stream about 30 minutes earlier, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, so we can answer your questions, all that stuff, get you prepared for the release. Then we'll have the live release. Be subscribed to our newsletter because when the next one comes out, which will be on Friday, I will have the list of what we're low on, low or sold out on. So you will know where we have the retailer availability. You know who to check in with. Check in. I think it's always a good idea to have one or two other retailers in mind when you're looking for one of our products. Know when their release times are. Not every store is going to release exactly on the same day or at the same time. Sometimes they do it a little bit earlier that day. Sometimes they do it a little bit later. Sometimes they do it the next day. Sometimes they do it the next week. So be aware of their releases. I don't have everybody's releases. They don't always tell me. They work with their own schedule. But at the very least, everyone who's going to... The release will be in and around July 5th for most retailers.
Yeah, not much earlier than that. Yeah.
Sometimes the Europeans websites release it a little bit earlier.
Well, so the thing is, like, we're releasing on the 6th, technically.
Well, right.
So,
that's Japan time. Yeah.
So, and we're just allowing everybody else to release on the 5th because it's the same day.
Yeah.
But then, like, depending on the time zone, they'll... Anyways, we will have more
information in the newsletter. So be subscribed to the newsletter. You're already watching the live stream, but be subscribed to the newsletter. There's good information there. There's people saying hello to Wyatt. Wyatt, say hello to the camera. Hi. Wyatt says hi. All right. He's a little shy. Quiet Wyatt, we call him. Okay. We'll get him on video more. I know. He's got a fan base out there. Trying to get him to laugh. He's unlaughable. Okay, everybody. We'll see you guys again next week. Have yourselves a good evening. Do something nice for yourself.
And somebody else.
That's it. We'll see you guys real soon. All right.